Good blessed Monday morning, May the 3rd, 2021. It's about 5:40 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greeting of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't even matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. I greet all of you all with that same universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Today is it's almost like an anniversary for me. First I want to say, you can see it real good, justice for my son, Brian Lamar Johns, who allegedly on March the 19th, 2021, his body was found hung on the 3rd floor in a apartment building at 400 Oakland Street in Carbondale, Illinois. I plan on trying to get I plan on probably trying to get down to Carbondale sometime this week to sit down with some brothers and sisters down there so we can come up with something where we can comb the streets and track down how my son's body became hung on the 3rd floor in that particular building. But today, 25 years ago, on May the 3rd, 1996, God sent me from the state of Illinois down here to the state of Missouri, to Charleston, Missouri. I end up being staying with my dad's mother, may she rest in peace, and sitting and talking with her. Hey, how you doing? All right. She put some wisdom and knowledge up here for me. She put something in here for me that made me start being an advocate and aid and assistance to elder people. It made me also do something that I was doing for years. All right now? That I was doing for years, not just on the streets of Chicago, but in the prisons while I was in there, being advocates for the voices that not being heard. But 25 years ago, I came down here. And it wasn't long after I was able to see what's down here in Charleston, Missouri, I got to fighting against injustice, racial injustice. And don't get me wrong, all white people down here are not racist. I want to set that record straight, because, most of the whites know that I'm not a racist person. But I will stand up and let it be known when I know somebody is racist. I don't care if they're a police, I don't care if they're a judge, I don't care if they're a state representative, I don't care if they're the governor, I don't even care if they're the president of the United States. I'm gonna let it be known, but this is something that I want to show y'all. For 25 years, people came to me about problems with their children in the school. I sat down, I did the paperwork for them, free of charge. I gave them the wisdom and knowledge what to do, free of charge. People was on their jobs, the same thing. People that had problems with the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, the Mississippi County Sheriff Department, City Hall, even some of these own black groups down here in some preachers. But out of all the fights that I had concerning me and my 2 daughters down here in Charleston, Missouri. Not one. Not one time did anybody come to our aid and assistance as far as these groups. You see what I'm saying? As far as these people that we aided and assisted. They don't know, hey, now. All right. They don't owe us anything, but it showed me something. You know, Noah, for 120 years, he preached in one sermon, and that was, it's gonna rain. For 120 years, people laughed at Noah, but in the end, what Noah was preaching to them, he was preaching the same sermon. That's what some of these critics, if you look on my YouTube, some of these critics said, that's old, you talking about the same thing. But apparently, if I'm studying talking about the same thing, I must be talking about it for a reason, because I'm not dumb like some of them say I am. A dumb person, you see what I'm saying, don't get no achievement, a humanitarian achievement award from a college for volunteering, tutoring people. You see what I'm saying? A dumb person can't do that. A dumb person can't take the national, not the state test for the EMT, but a national test. A dummy can't do that damn pass it. A dummy can't teach CPR and EMT. A dummy can't get on the ambulance and go out there and save lives. A dummy can't raise 2 young girls from birth, and they going on 15 and 16 years old, and they very manageable. They very manageable. They real intelligent. You see what I'm saying? And they aid and assist other people. A dumb person can't do that. But the individuals that study say that I'm saying the same old thing, it must be that same old thing, these same old people that's saying it, it must be something about it that they like. Because if somebody was kept on saying the same old thing that I don't like, guess what? I ain't gonna listen to it. But when I say the same, when I say the same old thing about racism here, I'm saying the same old thing because when Noah kept on saying the same old thing for 120 years, he was trying to wake up somebody. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to do. But now, what I'm gonna wake up now is whoever was responsible for taking my son's life in Carbondale. My 25 years contributing here to Charleston, Missouri is over with as far as being an advocate for the town, because you can't help a people that don't want to be helped. You see what I'm saying? All I see is a generation of individuals, and if the shoe fit, wear it. It's not everybody, but a generation of black individuals, all they want to do is teach each other how to pass out food that the government give you. You see what I'm saying? How to put certain people on your payroll that the government give you the grant money for to feed the children, and they make the children think that they're messiahs. You see what I'm saying? But see, I don't mind my daughters and them giving out stuff, but I want them to be somebody. I want them to be somebody that'll come down here and have judges arrested that's corrupt and racist, because you have it. You see, if a people don't want to be helped, Jesus, none of the prophets, nobody else ever forced anybody to do anything besides in 1492 when Christopher Columbus came over here. They said he discovered America, but if you do your history, you know he didn't. He forced these individuals that was here already, the natives that were here already, he forced them to be in captivity. He took their belongings. He raped and killed those who resisted him. Then in 1619, they forced our forefathers to come from Africa while they was raping our women and children, while they was taking our gold, while they was taking our rubies, while they was taking, hey now, while they was taking our diamonds. They forced us. You see what I'm saying? But you see, when we was in Africa and they was over here in this country here, it wasn't no force. It was a unity. I'm not going to go down to Carbondale, Illinois, trying to force nobody to do nothing. If you look at my YouTube videos, which is Raymond, R-A-Y-M-O-N-D, I-V-I-V-Y, what the corner for Jackson County, the one particular corner, because there's more than one, what the lieutenant, commanding lieutenant that's on the case concerning my son's death, what the pathologist, who she says she lives somewhere in Vienna, Illinois, what they call far-fetched, me and a whole bunch of thousands of other people don't call it far-fetched, seeing a person hanging themselves with money in their hand. We trying to see how was they able to tie a rope or a belt around a bar, then put it around their neck, and then jump. And from the pressure from the neck, why didn't that money fall out their hand? You see, the pathologist's theory was not only with the money in the hand and the cut on his arm here, I mean on his other hand, the back of his other hand, the pathologist said that maybe after he committed suicide, after he jumped, he decided he wanted to change his mind. To me, that was an insult. You see what I'm saying? Not only an insult, how far-fetched is that? That's very far-fetched to me. But then again, that pathologist, that coroner who wanted to just burn his body without having an autopsy, that lieutenant said, or whatever the coroner say, that's what he doing. You see what I'm saying? What they call far-fetched, I don't call it far-fetched. I call it suspicious. I call it that I believe somebody within them circles that wanted his body to be burnt up, somebody that didn't want to do no investigation, know who took my son's life, and maybe they some kin to some law enforcement official. Just maybe. I don't put nothing past it. You see what I'm saying? During the civil rights era in 1963 or 64, when the two Jewish guys and the one black guy in Mississippi was killed and buried, that was done by a law enforcement official. And if you do your history, a sellout NAACP, I believe it was a vice president or president, told them what route they was taking. So I don't put nothing past none of them. If the shoe fit well. Justice for my son and my 25 years down here in Charleston, Missouri, it wasn't in vain. Ask some of these multi-million-dollar corporations that I took to court. You see what I'm saying? I didn't get aid and assistance from nobody down here. You see what I'm saying? It must have been something that a judge allowed us to go in front of a jury. It must have been something that some of them settled out. It must be something that the Missouri Commission on Human Rights is considering looking at the case against Family Dollar at 601 South Main Street in Charleston, Missouri, store number 9411. I'm going to leave for right now, y'all. But y'all brothers and sisters in Carbondale, my Moorish American brothers, Islam, my Muslim brothers, Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. And all of my Christian brothers and sisters, all of us as one. Peace be still and may God be with you. Peace out.